Sup, Devils? J-Dog back with another goddamn interview. Still out here in Phoenix. What the fuck city are we in, Al? We got Earache Al. That's his new name. That's what I call him, Earache Al.
Yep. We're in Phoenix, Arizona.
Is it Phoenix?
Yeah, this is Phoenix. This is Phoenix proper.
But it's not like this. What's this? This is a different sub-city. This ain't actual Phoenix, is it?
This is Phoenix. This is
Okay.
Phoenix. The downtown's that way.
I lost.
We're maybe like Midtown or Uptown, but we're definitely Phoenix proper.
Yeah. So yeah, fucking shoot a video. People are you saw my goddamn videos of me busting Earache's balls, and you said this guy's fucking full of shit. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Earache's just goddamn true as it gets. So you've been what you clarified to me is so basically you've been with Earache Records since 1990.
1990. I knew Digby, the founder, from '86 before he had a little mail order called Earache back in '86, '87 kind of thing. So I've known him since then, but I didn't start there till '90.
So when you started in '90, like what exactly were you doing for the company?
Production assistant, mail order, picking, packing, bit of everything. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you see, so during 1990,
I moved to England from Australia in '89. I saw the Grind Crusher tour. I met Morbid Angel on that run. So that's like 35 years ago.
So like, okay, so but in 90, so yeah, between Morbid Angel, Bolt Thrower, Carcass, Terrorizer, Napalm Death, all that shit. I mean, what was like the top seller for Earache at that time?
You know what's really fucked up is everybody knows Morbid Angel.
Of course.
Everybody knows Napalm Death. One day during our first wave of heyday, whatever, my accountant comes up and goes, guess what the biggest seller in England? Not Europe, not the world, just England is. I'm like, Morbid Angel.
Bolt Thrower?
Morbid Angel. She goes, nope. I'm like, Napalm Death. She's like, nope. I'm like, Carcass? Nope. Bolt Thrower? Nope. Like, Lawnmower Death. I'm like,
who?
Lawnmower Death.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
It's like a parody band, like a fun band.
Did Earache put that out?
Yeah, we did
I don't even
4
know
albums by him, but that was outselling everybody in the UK only.
Really?
But but I mean, obviously, Morbid Angel and Napalm Death were the two big ones. Yeah, big numbers.
So like little things like because you were there to see it, that I'm out of curiosity. Everybody knows that I'm like a Carcass super fan, especially the very early shit. But I do like albums like Heartwork and stuff. It's just I thought they should have changed their name because they're a totally different band. What was like? How were things like at that time? Like what did the label think when they submitted that record? What did you think? What did the crowd think?
Which one? Heartwork?
Heartwork, yeah.
Okay, let me backtrack. Reek, Symphonies, Necroticism.
Yep.
Right? Now, everybody knows Reek and Symphonies, they were not happy with the sound.
No idea why. That's the best of the best.
No, everybody loved it.
Yeah.
So they do Necroticism. That's the first time
Yes.
you can hear leads, you can hear riffs, whatever. We got hate mail. Now, this is before the internet, so you have to get a pen and paper, write it down, put it in an envelope, walk to the post office, get a stamp, put it in the box, send it 3-4 days to get to us. And kids are like, this sounds like Poison.
What do you? Come on.
No, but people they were so angry.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? I wanted a new Carcass record. I got Poison. F you guys. I'm like, we got hate mail on that one. We got hate mail on Heartwork.
Well, but when you heard Heartwork when they sent in, you got to know, like, if you got hate mail from Necroticism, you got to be like, holy shit, this could be the straw that breaks the camel's back.
But a lot of people were along with the ride. They got the progression. They're like, I'm in. Count me in. I moved to New York in 2000. My sales guy took me in the back room of our warehouse. We had 10,000 Swan Song. And he's like, this will never sell. All right, whatever. a year later, he's like, we need to repress.
So it did sell well when it came out.
Yeah, no.
Well, dude, you know what's weird about that? Because I actually like Swan Song. I just always thought on Heartwork, they should have changed their name as a different band, like I was saying. But the thing is like at the time, and I was a little later to Swan Song because I'm younger. Yeah. I didn't get it then, but late 90s, early 2000s, while I was listening to, dude, I did not know one, and I mean I did not know one motherfucker that liked it. Now, granted, I always hung around an older crowd of people. I never hung around people my age. So maybe that was what it was. But I didn't know one person that liked Swan Song. And my whole thing is I got a little, it was good for business, but I was a little annoyed when when Earache repressed Swan Song, maybe about 8, 9, 10 years ago on vinyl. Hell's got them in. Because they did pink vinyls too. I was like, that's a little proper for that album. I was like, whatever, cool. I was like, they got them in. Dude, they flew out the door. I'm like, what's with all these fucking posers I was like, not one of these motherfuckers like this album other than me,
But-
and I always got made fun of for liking it.
but
So,
but
you're saying it was popular even back then, which is very shocking to me. 'cause I
No,
didn't know anyone.
no, we had thousands of returns, and for a year or two, it was dead. Nobody cared. Nobody wanted it. And then all of a sudden, you know what I think it was? Maybe not the deathcore kids, but before that, all of the American bands doing the Swedish mellow death. Those kids are like, shit, this is actually pretty cool. But here's the thing that a lot of people forget. Carcass signed to us for 4 albums. Did the 4-album deal. The last record, Heartwork, was on Columbia Sony for the US. The deal was done. They're like, hey, would you be really offended if we signed your band? They're like, dude, the deal's done. They're free agents. They can do what they want. They did the record for Sony, not for us, right? Now, the A&R guy's like, we got to get you a fashion guy to get you some flares or a cool shirt. You know, and Jeff and Bill are like, excuse me? Earache never told us how to dress. They're like, you need singing lessons. You're just shouting and guttural.
Oh, that would have pissed me off.
And
I was a
Jeff's
band.
like,
I told people fuck
Are you
themselves.
kidding me?
Yeah, that's stupid.
So
No, that's no good.
They did the album. The band split up. Sony called us up going, hey, would you buy the album off us? We can't do anything with it. You got the catalog. So we bought it off them. We never did it originally.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Sony
Shit.
recorded it and sold it to us.
Okay, I never knew that.
Yeah, because the band had broken up. Because they're like, we want body parts on the record. We're like, God bless you. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We did not shy away from it. But Sony are like, we don't like what you look like. We don't like what you sound like. Why did you sign them then? That's the major label system. Whatever. You know, all good.
Well, the next band that I was a super fan of, and I still am, that changed their style that I was mostly disappointed with. So when it comes to Symphonies of Sickness and Recapitulation, those are my favorite gore grind albums of all time, and I do consider those gore grind. I don't consider them death metal. I consider them gore grind. Goddammit.
Same.
I understand that the gore grind wasn't an official genre at the time, but now in 2024 it is, and that's first gore grind. Goddammit.
Yep.
So get your fucking facts straight.
He's right.
Symphonies of Sickness is not a death metal album. It's a gore grind album. Having said that, I'm also a super fan of Morbid Angel. Ultras Madness, you could argue, is the greatest death metal album of all time. It's in debate. I know some people say Seven Churches, some people say Scream Bloody Gore, but Ultras isn't talking, right? Ultras, one of the things I loved is David Vincent's voice. It's fucking great.
Yep.
Then you get Blessed Are Sick, it's half and half. You got he's got changing his vocals on certain songs. You got Covenant. It's fucking, I call the Macho Man Randy Savage's vocals. Fucking slap into a Slim Jim. He goes from this dark, raspy, satanic voice of the devil to slap into a Slim Jim. And what I heard in an interview,
Florida stuff.
For what I heard in an interview, someone asked him why he changed his vocals. He's like, oh, well, bro, I quit smoking. I'm like, well, let me get you a pack. What were you guys thinking when Covenant, you heard that, and he's slapping into a Slim Jim? Because I hated Covenant at first for that very reason.
A lot of people don't understand. You get a Trey album, then you go to David album, then you go to Trey album, then you go to David. That's why they flip-flop from album to album. But we thought at the time, that was the one with Fleming Rasmussen, who produced Metallica. We were kind of like, whoa, okay, because it's really different from Blessed.
Yeah.
And we were kind of taken back, but we're behind them 100%. We go to war for our guys, sort of thing. But all of the critics slammed it.
When Covenant came out?
Yeah.
Don't be wrong. Within several years, we're talking about a good 10, 15 years now, I do like Covenant going back to it. I got to admit, songs like Rapture, God of Emptiness, I was like, they are good songs. It's just, at the time, I was like, dude, I don't like his voice. I was like, but it did grow on me going back to it.
But
I still stand by Domination's kind of a turd, though.
I'm not going to name names, but there was definitely journalists who were like, yeah, this is kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Now they're like, oh, bro, Covenant. I'm like, dude, I remember what you wrote.
But sometimes we go back to shit. Yeah.
30 years later, I still remember what you wrote.
That is true, and I agree with that, and I stand by that too, because I hold somebody's word as law. But I was like, you are allowed to change your mind, and I have
fair
changed.
enough. Yeah.
I have gone back to shit. I was like, all right, let's listen.
Yeah.
And actually, it was fucking. I kind of agree with that. It's actually Big D, fucking Don the Deaf and Unsolid, that said this. It's like, yes, because everything nowadays sucks, is what I said. I was like, I don't know, dude. Going back to some albums, like later Death albums or whatever, I was like, I'm not crazy about them. They're no Scream Bloody Gore. I was like, but listen to them again. I was like, they're actually not bad.
Yeah.
And his guy's like, that is true. He's like, that just shows you how shitty music of today coming out is.
He's right. He's right.
Like, well, maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
Because I have gone back to other albums, and I was like, this is actually pretty good. I was
Yeah.
like, it's much better than I remember.
Yeah, but a lot of the critics slammed those records, but Beavis and Butthead got behind it. I mean, you're a young guy, but you're
Not
young.
according to people. I look like I'm 65, dude.
Yeah, he's not. He's 64. He's not 65.
Yeah.
But there was a time in America where there was no metal TV shows. All there was Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, sure. They even had Cannibal Corpse in there.
Yep.
Yeah. But which song was that? Was it God and Emptiness?
Yep.
Yeah, I thought, yeah.
But
I don't know, dude. Were you kind of like, when they did like Where the Slime Live, that's kind of fucking lame.
it's kind of poppy.
I mean, it's not like, shut this off, this is terrible, I want to punch these guys in the face. But when you put that on next to Bleed for the Devil, I'm just kind of like, this is kind of gay.
But do you know what though? There's a whole wave of guys who are like, I'm a David Vincent guy. I'm a Tucker guy. I mean, Adam from Behemoth, he's like, I love Tucker's work because it's brutality. It's brutal, Morbid Angel.
You know, it's funny because I didn't realize that until about 3 years ago or so, that people told me, like, dude, there's that Steve Tucker where they say Tucker's the Morbid Angel. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, I never heard that shit in my life.
Yeah.
I was like, don't be wrong, I like Formula's Fatal Flesh, but holy fuck, that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my entire life. I didn't realize that was a phenomenon until a few years ago.
It's a thing. It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
So I was aware, but only for a few years. I'm like, that's the dumbest shit I've ever fucking heard. But as far as David Vincent, I mean, I'm not going to lie, dude. I mean, he's a guy where he's so goddamn annoying looking now with that cowboy hat and that fucking tutu and what's a side project, where most guys I would interview, but I don't even know if I would interview that guy. He's so goddamn annoying looking. Maybe I would if I had a conversation. I was cool. I was like, because I'm a huge fan of some of his stuff, but I'm I was like, some of his shit, dude. I was like, I don't know, dude.
I used to say for the longest time, him and Glenn, the two best frontmen in death metal ever.
You talking about Glenn Benton, the GB?
GB, Uncle Glenn.
Uncle Glenn.
But no, but I talked to David 2 weeks back. I said, dude, you and me sat in the steps of the venue in Derbyshire, I think King's Hall, whatever it was, Covenant tour. And he go, you told me then that you were into country and you would drink and go to country bars. And he's like, oh shit, I remember that. So even then, he dug his country shit.
No, and it's fine. You're allowed to like other shit.
Yeah.
It's just when you're a death